Hi guys, welcome back to Beast Speed Shop. Now that I've got my cross member fully welded in, I'm going to start working on removing some of the bracing I welded in across the door openings so I can get my doors hung back on and then start work on my rear quarter panel on the driver's side. I'm going to leave this side for today and focus on the driver's side because that's more important to get the door on that side so I can then get the rear quarter panel lined up and check the gap down this edge and make sure it closes up along the other edges where it's all spot welded together. I've got my driver's door loosely in place at the moment. It's just held in with 2 screws at the front and the door latch at the rear. Still needs a little bit of adjustment along the front edge. I've just been going off the around the top because I haven't done anything to change that yet. Obviously I've taken the rear quarter panel off, so there's nothing to line it up off that edge, and the front wings aren't on yet, so there's nothing to line it up along the edge out that side. It's a little bit tight along the bottom edge just there, but not much. It's only like a few mil, so I might just see if I can get something under that corner, just lift that up slightly and maybe drop the latch a little bit, just so then that levels it out a bit more. But what I'm going to do now is just test fit my rear quarter panel, just get it roughly clamped into place and see what the gap is like along that edge. So I've got my door on roughly in place, and I've got my rear quarter panel clamped into place in a few areas. It looks pretty good apart from the very bottom edge of the rear wheel arch. There's a little bit of a too big of a gap there to try and clamp it together and close it. So what I might have to do is just very carefully cut the bottom edge off and then make a thin strip to weld in there, just to bring that edge down a little bit to try and close that gap. But other than that, it looks pretty good. It's a little bit tight on this very corner just here, and the lower edge corner just there. It's a little bit tight. There is a gap all the way up along this edge. It's a tight gap, but there is one there. So I think once I need to get a door rubber so I can properly get the door in its right location, and then from there I'll be able to see if I need to adjust this panel on either of these corners. Hopefully I won't need to. A little bit of hammer work just to make the gap a little bit bigger, and then I can start welding it in place. Before I can start welding it in place, I obviously need to go around all of the edges and sort of put some weld true primer on there, and I need to get a new strip for along here because the top of this edge is all rusted out. So I'm going to see if I can order up one of these, and I'm going to see if I can get one for the other side at the same time because it's rusted out along that top edge as well. Yeah, so I'll get door rubbers, get the 2 inside strips for either side, and then it's just a case of cleaning up the edges, like down in there. Got to clean those up and spray them with something before putting this panel on for good. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with the way this panel is fitting up. I'll quickly show you that gap along that bottom edge, as long as I don't hit myself with one of the clamps. So this lower corner here, I don't know if you can see, there's a bit of a gap there. So it's a bit, I've tried to clamp it, but it's a little bit too big of a gap to try and clamp and close that together. So what you could do is, like I said, cut that bottom edge off of the quarter panel and just add in a little strip just to lengthen that bottom corner, just to hopefully close up that gap. But I mean, other than that, I need to make a new section for the edge of the rear wheel tub to go in there. So I've already done a patch there, but I need to do a full patch that goes all the way around there. And then, yeah, and then once we've got those few little jobs sorted out and we've got the rear quarter panel on for good and start welding it in, we can start making our way to the front of the car and try and make it look like a car again. I've made a good bit of progress today getting the door on and the rear quarter panel lined up to it. And so before I can start working on getting that welded in, I need to order a few bits like the door rubber and that little inside strip that spot welds to the rear quarter panel. So once I've got those, I need to finish cleaning up a few of the edges and spraying a bit of primer and a bit of weld through primer to just give them some protection. And then once I've done that, I can start getting the rear quarter panel welded in. So I'm going to be leaving this video here for today, so thanks for watching.